Those 4G and 5G towers they put up everywhere, do they do it so you can have a faster connection on your phone? Yes, but there's more to it. There's a deeper reason for all of this. They are putting electromagnetic frequencies everywhere around us, and it goes way deeper than most people think. I mean, with Musk's Starlink, he's even bathing the whole surface of planet Earth in this electromagnetic radiation. It's a frequency war for control. In this video, I will go more in depth on the topic and what it is its goal, and how to break free from it. Hi everybody, my name is Jens Pateo and welcome to my channel for cutting-edge information about conspiracy, metaphysics and reality. Today I'm going to talk about frequency, and more specifically how they try to control us with frequency in very subtle and at the same time not so subtle ways. I'm also going to talk on how to break free from it so it cannot have as much as an effect on you, but more on that later. So let me introduce this by really outlining why frequency is so important. We live in a physical universe, or we think so, but as quantum mechanics has shown us, it's really not physical at all. Basically, we have the illusion of physicality. Atoms that make up our body, make up the earth, make up this chair that I'm sitting on. Atoms are basically units of very dense energy. It's got a very dense nucleus and there's electrons orbiting this nucleus. And these electrons and the particles that constitutes its nucleus are not really particles actually. Quantum mechanics tells us that these electrons and other particles are both a particle and a wave, a concept known as wave-particle duality. They are quantum objects that exhibit different properties depending on the experiment being performed. In some situations, it behaves like a localized particle, and in others, it shows wave-like properties. It has no real shape. It's basically energy. And there's also a lot of energy binding these particles/waves together. We can see that with the explosion of an atomic bomb, for example. An atomic bomb's power originates from the splitting of atomic nuclei, a process called fission. When a neutron strikes the nucleus of an atom, like uranium or plutonium, it splits, releasing a massive amount of energy and more neutrons. These new neutrons then split other atoms, creating a self-sustaining chain reaction that releases massive amounts of energy. If you need to prove that everything is energy and contains energy, just look at an atomic explosion. So there's not only the energy that we can see, obviously like with the atoms, because the light reflects, bounces off of them, the photons go into our eyes and then get decoded by our brain. And that's how we perceive physical reality. So what we're actually constantly observing is energy interacting with each other. Everything is energy. That's the energy we can see, but there's also energy we cannot see. And we have proof of that. Think, for example, a radio picks up radio waves that originate from its source, and we can hear the radio. Think of your Wi-Fi, for example. Wi-Fi is there because we can connect to it. We cannot see it with our physical eyes, but we can connect to it and our phone can receive information from it. So there's not only visible energy, but there's also invisible energy. And that invisible energy is actually not only the electromagnetic spectrum, like Wi-Fi, like radio. It's also who we are. Humans have an aura. We have an energy field around us. And that is something that mainstream science still does not accept, although there are some pioneer researchers that are actively researching this, but still the mainstream of science still hasn't accepted that something such as a human aura even exists. Of course, there's multiple reasons why this is, for example, not taught in schools, because, they want to keep us uninformed about the true nature of reality. They want to dumb us down as to what reality truly is. Nikola Tesla famously said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So, as we are beings of energy, we are not only physical as dense energy, but we are also non-physical energy that you cannot see. So it is only normal that energy has an effect on us. And I think every person has experienced that when, for example, you enter a room and there's a situation going on with really bad energy and it has like an effect on you, then what you're feeling is the non-physical energy that's permeating the whole room. If you stay in a place with really bad energy, it can really affect you. Now, some people are more sensitive to this than others, but everybody's feeling it on a certain level. So when Nikola Tesla said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, well, that's kinda also the secret to control humans. Control of the frequency of humanity is really the most insidious and invisible form of control. It's because we don't see it, we don't know it, but it's still there. Now, this is key. Beyond the political control, beyond the divide and rule, beyond the religious control, beyond the information control, the censorship, there is control of the frequency field of the earth and humanity. And that is one of the reasons they are literally encasing the earth in this electromagnetical 5G and 6G to come energy grid. Coming from all the cell towers in dense urban areas, even coming from space now with Elon Musk's SpaceX. I mean, if you look at the night sky now, sometimes you see these SpaceX satellites passing by in a row, and it just gives me a very weird and fake feeling, you know? What happened to the natural star sky? This electromagnetic frequency they're emitting constantly via these towers and devices and satellites really intermingles with the natural frequency field of the Earth. And that is the frequency field we as humans are living in and are connected to. There is an intimate connection between our frequency field and the natural frequency of the Earth. And they're trying to mess with that. They're trying to mingle their electromagnetic frequency in. Ultimately, it's about pushing that electromagnetic energy on humanity, so humanity will connect more to that inorganic digital energy than it connects to the natural frequencies of the Earth. And that is the intention. And this is what transhumanism is about. It's about creating a human 2.0 through implants, through these frequencies, through injecting nanotechnology. And let me tell you, there was mRNA, which is nanotechnology, injected into people massively during the pandemic. I think you will remember that. Now, how these shots tie into this, I expanded on that in an interview with Thomas Meyer. It's on my YouTube, linked under this video. And I also expand on this in my book, A World in Transition, which is available in the description. So, the more we are going to accept these transhumanist technologies into our body, like nanotechnology, like brain chips, like body modification, like gene editing, the more that will connect us to the inorganic digital frequency. There is an intimate connection between our consciousness and our body. Obviously, because we are souls, we are incarnated into a body. We are literally in the flesh. That's what the word incarnation means, being in the flesh. So if we start modifying our bodies with all these transhumanist technologies, it's going to affect our energy field. It is going to change our energy field. And that is what they want. It's taking over the organic evolution, the natural, spiritual, organic evolution of humanity, and turning us into this digital evolution. It's called biodigital convergence. Diverting the natural, God-given spiritual destiny of humanity and changing it into something very, very different. Humanity has a natural life stream, a natural way that we are supposed to evolve according to the divine plan. And with this frequency manipulation, they're trying to pull us away from that. They're literally trying to pull us away from our God-given spiritual destiny. And this plan has been very, very long in the making. And now they can really start to execute that plan and try to bring it to fruition because they have all these technologies now. But, you know, they were doing it in the past too, because in the 50s, for example, they didn't have the 3G and the 4G and the 5G, but they put fluoride in toothpaste and lead in gasoline. And I talk a lot about that in my book also. Fluoride is a substance that attacks the pineal gland, a gland that is related to your higher consciousness. Also, again, trying to close down these higher frequencies. Frequency manipulation through physical substances that affect the chemical and energetic balance of the body. But now, of course, in our time, it has accelerated enormously. I mean, look at the phones. People are glued to the phones 24/7, and the phones are also emitting these frequencies. There's a total push on humanity to integrate digital existence into our biology. Like Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum said, they are going to go from phones, which is a consumable, to a wearable that is constantly on the body, like a smartwatch. A lot of people already are wearing them. And then they're going to go to implantables. So it's really gradually moving from a consumable to something that is inside your body, because that is what they need to really change our human biology, our frequency field. And in our times, currently, there's already a lot of control of frequency, but these crazies want to really take it to the limit, to the end. And in a previous video, I talked about how ultimately there's a frequency that wants to infiltrate, an AI digital frequency consciousness that wants to take over all organic life. You can check that. You can check out that video on my YouTube where I talk more in depth about that AI frequency. But the good news is we are breaking free of it. We are waking up at the same time as this push is happening. Every action creates an opposite reaction. And in a sense, this frequency consciousness that wants to control us is pushing us to wake up. We've been so much asleep as humanity that we basically manifested this wake-up call in the form of these dark beings wanting to control us, because we've given our power away for so long. If the whole of humanity would have stood in its power and be discerning and didn't forget that they were immortal, powerful souls, this would have never happened. But everything is a lesson. I believe that, and this is a huge, huge wake-up call for humanity. Now, what I'm saying, might seem doom and gloom, but there is good news. This can only have an effect on us if we choose to go along with this plan subconsciously. So, awareness of this plan, awareness of where they are trying to take us is really, really important, because then we can make a choice. If you don't know the plan, you're just getting sucked into it subconsciously. That is the deception. But if you know what the plan is, if you know the devious intent, you can say no, and you can choose to resist this. You can just simply say no. But saying no is not only it. We have to consciously choose to evolve, choose to grow. Now, let me give you some very basic tips that help with this. Obviously, reduce your screen time. Take walks in nature, to walk barefoot, really connect with that natural frequency. That's so very important. Eat good organic food, not food that is genetically modified, where there's like this distortion and energy coming into the food because of the genetic modification. These are very simple steps you can take that help a lot, next to saying no to the biodigital convergence, of course. We have to consciously choose to do things that resist this digital frequency. Like walking barefoot, connecting with nature. Doing these very simple things will help you a lot. But there's also more you can do, and that's why I also have created my course, 14 Days to Higher Vibration, where I teach a lot of these techniques to really raise your frequency and get into that stream of natural, spiritual, organic evolution. Like I said with the famous Nikola Tesla quote at the beginning, the secret of real growth is working on your energy, working on your frequency and energy field, because then you're working on the root cause of things. This 14-day program is designed to help you clear blocks, balance your energy, and connect you to your true self. And you will be able to use the tools you learn in this course for years to come. I use all the tools I'm teaching in there myself on a daily and weekly basis, so they are battle tested throughout the years and they really help me. You'll find the link in the description below, and it's 50% off right now for my followers. Take a look if you're interested. So, to get back to the topic and finish this video, it's not all doom and gloom. We have a choice. They cannot do anything if we wake up to their plans and act accordingly. We take care of ourselves. We say no. We choose to focus on our spiritual growth. We say, no thank you, I don't want that brain chip. I trust in my consciousness. I trust in my soul. I don't need your Neuralink. No thanks, Mr. Musk. That's all it takes. And that's the first big step, and then you work on yourself. For example, you meditate or you do whatever spiritual activity you like. The keywords here are choose consciously. They're trying to turn us into unconscious zombies all the time, so we have to do the opposite. We have to choose consciously. Choose our evolution. Choose to go the natural path of our natural destiny. It's also called Dharma. Dharma is a concept from Hinduism. It's the things we have to do as souls when we come here. It's the Dharma of humanity. So that's it for this video. If you want to go deeper into different topics, I have a video about the AI consciousness that I talked about. Also, don't forget to check out my 14 Days to a Higher Vibration course if you're interested. Remember, just say no and choose love. That brings you a long way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Thank you. Bye-bye.